guests, eminent personalities that will delve into questions raised about these issues after reading out some points, yes, before they come in. Today, I want us to be, quick about this session now. So many questions to answer. I have in the house this afternoon Mr. Ayo Akinyemi is a media consultant and is not new on the program. Mr. Ayo Akinyemi, you are welcome to the program.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
And yes, of course, legal practitioner Adibimpe Adilowo Esquire, also not new on the program. You are welcome to the program, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yes,
it's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, today we will be now delving into matters of security now, and yes, of course, there's this question people will be asking after knowing about a lobbying contract that I think was agreed upon by was signed by the federal government. That is about $9 million, basically to fight insecurity in Nigeria. There has been so many hues and cries about insecurity, and I know that you remember that it was the prodding of President Donald Trump of the United States that prompted Nigeria, the Nigerian government, the military, other security agencies to come up and organize themselves and make strategies known within themselves to now start to tackle the issue of insurgency, the issue of kidnapping, the issue of others killing, all those that I will always tag criminals. Yes, criminals. Now, the federal government approved $9 billion lobbying contract with a US-based firm, that is the DCI group, to counter allegations of Christian genocide in Nigeria. Well, they will always call it Christian genocide, but I don't believe it is a Christian genocide. I believe it's a genocide against Nigerians as a whole. It is not only Christians that are being killed, that are being murdered. Nigerians are being murdered. Not only churches that are being attacked. Muslims are being attacked in mosques, markets, where there is a mixture of Muslims and Christians. They are being attacked. So I don't believe it is not only Christians that have been attacked. And well, yeah, and this prompted Donald Trump to take the steps that he took then, and well, it prodded the Nigerian government to also start taking these actions to get into some points across our regions in Nigeria. So there will now be no excuses of the terrain is bad. Some areas cannot be policed every time, every day. There cannot be troops in all schools at the same time, like the excuses that they used to give. Now they have, and well, the United States is supporting the government about some, equipment, high-tech equipment. Well, like I think sometimes last week, some equipment, high-tech military equipment were delivered to Nigeria. Now, talking about these $9 million lobbying contract here. So that is what puzzles me. Lobbying contract. I don't really, well, it might be a contract signed to tackle insecurity in the country. Let me just quickly go through this little write-up here. And it talks about some things before we go into the interview proper. Yes, well, after the federal government approved a $9 million lobbying contract with the US firm DCI Group to counter allegations of Christian genocide in Nigeria and maintain US support for counterterrorism efforts, the contract, signed on the 17th of December 2025, aims to communicate Nigeria's actions to protect Christian communities and addressed growing International Democratic Congress, ADC, and the People's Democratic Party, PDP, that argued that the expenditure is scandalous and a waste of scarce public funds that could be better spent on addressing insecurity and economic hardship. Some civil society groups, such as the Human Rights Writers Association of Nigeria, HURIWA, echoed these concerns, questioning the prioritization of image management over domestic issues. On the other hand, the federal government officials defended the deal as a strategic diplomatic investment aiming to counter allegations of Christian genocide and maintain U.S. support for counter-terrorism efforts. And of course, there are implications, the implications of the $9 million lobbying deal. Of course, critics have argued that it's a waste of scarce funds. And of course, a key concerns also includes diverting attention from domestic issues, diplomatic failure, sectarian tensions, lack of transparency, and all those. It goes on and on and on and on. Yes, Mr. Yuakiyemi, you are a media consultant. To the layman, you and I, and the barrister, yes, we might know the meaning of a lobbying contract. I know about contract. They might know about contract generally. What is the meaning of lobbying contract to the public?
Thank you very much, moderator. The issue of lobbying is a sort of a public relations engagement to polish, to educate, a form of propaganda in a way, but not totally falsehood-oriented, but to tell the story as it is and to give it some coloration that will give an image, positive image for the subject concerned. The particular issue we are to discuss this afternoon, the $9 million contract, lobbying contract awarded to the DCI, an American-based outfit, has to do with the situation in Nigeria arising from the reclassification of Nigeria as a country of particular concern by the President of America, Donald Trump. I think we really have to say thank you to the American president for being a scorpion that has turned Nigerian leaders into action. We'll be expressing this issue of terrorism, banditry, kidnapping for years, and government seems to be playing the lukewarm towards it and playing the ostrich as if nothing is happening until Donald Trump now reclassified Nigeria as a country of particular concern, zeroing particularly on Christian genocide, that Christians are being targeted by the bandits and terrorists in the country. We all know the inclination of Donald Trump towards Christians in America. It was one of his campaign points, and he seems to be extending that frontier to Nigeria with the approach of the midterm election to enable him gain some ground again and retain the sympathy of his party faithfuls. But as a matter of fact, it was a wake-up call for the Nigerian leaders, and the pronouncement by Donald Trump really got our government working, the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. You could see for years, since he came into power in May 29, 2015, one of the actions he took of getting into office is to recall our ambassadors from all over the world back home. And up at the time we are talking, we are yet to have ambassadors in various countries across the world. It was that action that forced our government into action. First, to give 3 names of those who will be in US, UK, and France. Then before other names, about 63 of them, or 65, were added. Even up to now, though the Senate or the National Assembly had given a positive stamp to the ambassador designates, that they are yet to be assigned their countries of portfolio. So the image of Nigeria concerning that aspect that needed to be brushed up is what has caused the government to go into this lobbying contract with this American organization to rebrand their image, to present to the Americans and to the world entirely that the killings taking place in Nigeria is not only affecting Christians, but also affecting other religions too. The Muslim faithfuls, mosques being attacked, not only churches. And by and large, that was the essence. But as you said in your opening remarks, that people now believe it's a misdirected fund expenditure. Because when this issue started, the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, had led a delegation to the US and met the American Parliament and some key figures from the American Senate. And our image had already been rebranded, and Nigeria is even already having a positive reaction from the Trump end. Of late, there was this medical support that gave to Nigeria that ran into millions of dollars. The essence of having these lobbyists at a staggering sum of $9 million is so shocking to Nigerians, not only the opposition, but even concerned citizens. Because I think after the intervention of America and the positive disposition of even the strike in Sokoto to get some terrorists, out of the way, it was such a swift operation that caught Nigerians unawares, and until the came to become, and we journalists had to get our searchlights into operation to really unearth the story behind the story concerning the Sokoto attack on the terrorists by America. On the score of lobbying, yes, lobbying is a universal, globally acknowledged diplomatic steps to put some information in the right perspective and to polish the image of Nigeria that has been battered. But as you rightly said in your introduction, we think the engagement of lobbyists at this particular point in time is no longer necessary. Because it will not have risen in the first instance if what needed to be done by government had been done. But because what ought to have been done were left undone, it really exposed the inefficiency and ineffectiveness of government to give the Trump administration that impetus to reclassify Nigeria and to even threaten that he was going to get his boots on ground, American boots on ground in Nigeria, and right the wrongs for us. But lobbying is not anything strange. I could even it's not restricted to what we have now. I could recall that in the BBC Akonde, the first interim national chairman of the APC, the government now in power in Nigeria, in his autobiography, My Participations, recorded in a chapter where he described President Tinubu as a strategist. I think it's in page 480 to 85 of that book. You recall that when they were putting the APC together in 2013, he was in America with Senator Tinubu at the time, and they had to engage a media, a political consultant outfit, AKDP in America, that put them in the line of what to be done to put the party in good shape and to attract attention and support from Nigerians. The Anambra election at that time in 2013 was used as a guinea pig. And that body, the PR consultants that were engaged, told them they should not field Chris Ngige, that he would lose the election if they did. They went ahead and fielded Ngige, and Ngige lost. So that encouraged those who were trying to put together IPs at that time, that yes, this outfit is perfect. Then again, when the election was coming, they said, no, emphasize change. That change will be the fulcrum of the government you want to bring on board. And the change should even use employment provision as pivotal to what they wanted to do while in government. And if you roll the tape back, we see that that was what was the focus of the campaign of the APC at the time. Change, employment. Eventually, they got through. Along the line, too, I think the MPS suspected that the outfit had been engaged, and they too went out. Incidentally, they went to the same outfit in America to work for them. You see, as recorded in Baba's autobiography, eventually when the thing was, the election was approaching, and the the PDP felt they didn't done enough work. That Baba alluded was one of the reasons that the election was postponed for a few weeks. So lobbying is a universally accepted approach to resolving matters. But do we need it at this moment concerning the problem in this country? I would say no.
That is the question. Now, talking about tackling insecurity and talking about the approach that the federal government has moved towards now, can we say, Barrister, I want to direct this question at you. Can we say we can vindicate President Trump, talking about Christian genocide, just about, I think, yesterday or 2 days ago, when about 2 or 3 churches were attacked, over 170 worshippers were abducted.
Reportedly.
Yes, and I said the other time, I said, I do not believe it is only Christians that have been, kidnapped, killed, that Nigerians are being killed. Do you think we can say President Trump can be vindicated about his actions towards Nigeria?
Thank you, moderator. And definitely, from all the happenings before, during, and after U.S. intervention in our own situation, all those incidents have already vindicated whatever President Donald Trump have done so far. Yes, many people may disagree that it is Christian genocide. And we must also come to a conclusion that Nigerians are being killed every day. But the proportion at which a particular section of the society being attacked, before, when we cast our vote, we only give the highest, somebody that pulled the highest vote, the winner. And then the one with lesser vote will be the loser. The proportion by which we can calculate the attack on the Christian community in Nigeria, we definitely, we are going to arrive at the same conclusion, that the incident is Christian genocide. There's no doubt about that. The Christians are being killed, Muslims are being killed. But what are the action taken by government will now give the outsider the narration whether it's truly complicit in this regard. For instance, when a church are being killed, so many bandits are being arrested, the terrorists are being arrested, the same terrorists, you say you radicalize them,
Yes.
and you integrate them back to the society.
Yes, just the 70 of them.
Oh, it happens under Buhari administration. Similar things still recur under this administration. Then how do you now justify that you are not being, a particular religion community are not being attacked? What happened in Benue? What happened in Plateau? Which have dominance of Christians. You know that. And there are many Muslim communities. We don't want to go into that narration, but we want to see how the ineptitude of government have given that narrative that what is happening in Nigeria is a Christian genocide. We know that it's attack on Nigerian community by whoever, and we don't know whether, I know the government knows the sponsors of all these incidents, but they've not come out to actually nail anyone.
Yes. They promised to.
They promised to expose, mention,
but they have not arrested anyone.
Anyone. So America will be vindicated in that regard, that if government has already stood its ground, maybe come out in order to address all this situation, maybe the narrative could have been different from what we are seeing today. Just yesterday, you just mentioned it. Why church? Why Christian community? Is it not the same thing? American attack, struck at the December 25.
Yes.
With intel that the same December 25 when Christians will be celebrating Christmas, there are certain ones that they are gathering at a particular point in order to attack. And you know that there have been the recurrence incidents. Yes. At December period, you know that. And which religion community that normally celebrate at December? Have you ever heard that maybe during the Salah celebration, whether Eid al-Fitr, Eid al-Kabir, that any attack of such happened? Those are the indices. On a normal day, they can go ahead and attack anyone. Of course, Borno, I think the Borno mosque was attacked at the December period. December period, and then we don't know what will have responsible for that, because nobody has ever come to give us the details about the happening there. So in this sense, we can see that the lapses on our government, we always give the wrong narrative to international community about how we are handling our matter. How should we expect that a sovereign nation we now be the one to stir up another sovereign nation to do the needful? We voted huge sum amount of money for security every year. Tucano was purchased
so many years ago.
so many years ago.
It was no use.
It was no use.
You did not know where it ended.
It ended. And there was a time even the fighter jets even, neutralize our own military.
Yes.
They call it as charge. And nobody has even come up with any reports, and there are no culprits. Nobody has answered for that. The wasted numbers of our militaries. It shows that something is wrong. And then we need interventions of the international community. When government could not protect its citizens has that right to appeal to various communities to come and be, to come and help.
Now, Mr. Akemi, well, I know people will get what you have said. I got all what you said. Now, President Trump, is trying to help, I believe. But at the same time, I also think, I don't know whether you think along my line, is that he has one interest.
It's not for free. His help is not for free.
Yes, because like he's dealing with Venezuela now. And he's trying to look into Colombia and as well Iran. Yes, I believe he has one particular interest, yes, in Nigeria, apart from these assistance he's trying to give us.
You see, Donald Trump is make America great again. And to him, it's America first. And there's no free meal in Freetown any longer. And when you look at the American configuration and zeroing on Donald Trump himself, and with the references we made, what he's doing in Venezuela, now taking their crude and things like that. Nigeria is a very blessed country. And there are so many areas of interest that Trump might be eyeing that may not be known to us now, but with time it will unfold. We can take, for instance, this issue we are discussing, the $9 million lobby contract. Who is the beneficiary?
The Americans.
The Americans.
And
so are we the one, we are taking our hard money to America. And there are other interests too in Nigeria that America may be interested in. You see, in the diplomatic world, we call ourselves a non-aligned nation. But you know, we more or less tilting towards France.
France, yes.
And France and America are not friends.
They are not friends.
You see, and there are these BRICS too. Who wants to de-emphasize the usage of dollar as the international currency? The whole nation should, the whole world should adore. And Nigeria has been trying to, tilt towards that end too. So there should be a way of slapping us at the back to draw attention so that we won't align with those blocks. The action in Colombia, have we said anything about it? Have we condemned it? Even Ghana in this our backyard. I said it is wrong for America to have done that to Colombia. But we have kept quiet.
And Venezuela.
And Venezuela. We have kept quiet. You see, it's America would not give you something without expecting to have something back. But one thing that really gives me some measure of satisfaction is that he has opened up our eyes and has forced our government to take necessary action. Whatever interest might come thereafter, at least when you invest, you want to have profit or gain. Then the sophisticated equipment bought about a week or so ago, were they brought free? will I pay some money for,
Of course,
for it?
and our resources.
Yeah, it's money for America. And gradually, and I spoke earlier on about the Trump-America political configuration. The emphasis on the Christian community, even in America. So he's just trying to expand his interest that even in faraway Nigeria, I'm interested in the welfare of Christians there. So you Christians here at home, I'm still for you. So let's go along. Come along with me. You know, Trump has said that his party members should be careful that if care is not taken and they lose the midterm election, then he might be impeached. So he's just looking ahead and trying to look at areas that he could use to consolidate his position and ensure that he is reelected. You see, this one thing that I'm not really happy with is that do we need this lobby thing in a security architecture when this issue of American reclassification of Nigeria, the change in the headship of the defense, chiefs. Then the service chiefs change first, then the appointment of the former minister, the former chief of general staff, as Minister of Defense, General Christopher Musa.
Yes.
You see, so these are things that we are being forced, so to say, to do, that we ought to have done. But Tawali is still there as Minister of State for Defense. I'm sure pressure is underground to get him out of the place, because he was one of those that we even suspected was a Boko Haram man sponsoring terrorism. And the man I learned is trying to give his son or daughter in marriage, but now of them at the go. you see, it's an interesting country. I believe with what Trump has done to reawaken our leaders to their responsibility, I believe it's on the right course, but at the end of the day, you rub my back, I rub your back, cannot be divorced from the old situation.
Yes, let's just, we're still talking about the lobbying contract. Let's do Donald Trump for now. Yeah, well, he's trying to take over, what now? He's dealing with Venezuela, trying to take over
Greenland.
Colombia. Now, yes. that is what I'm saying. He's trying to annex Greenland. So I don't understand his problem. I just don't know. Now,
it's expanding US territory.
Of course.
They're bringing money to US. It's America first.
Of course. Yes. That is.
Yes, can these contracts, these lobbying contracts, Barrister, genuinely change this international perception?
Not at all. Not at all. You see, there is nothing we could do than what Baba have already expressed. When we could not remove the indices that painted us black, and then we want to go out to polish our image, those things that we've not removed will still be living with us, and we'll continue to suffer for it. Lobbying is not the next thing. In fact, I want to say it's a misplaced priority. It's good to lobby. For instance, if our oil is not being demanded in the international markets, then we can lobby. If we are not being given the due recognition, for instance, Africa is yearning for permanent seats
United Nations.
in United Nations and Security Councils. If Nigeria could put a lot of resources in that channel, a lot of resources in that regard, and it would have been a worthy investment. But lobbying to polish our image without correcting those anomalies we have with us. We've not arrested the insurgents. We've not arrested the banditry. The terrorism are still there. And then we are still living with even the sponsors of these. We have them around. We have them. We have many sympathizers of this group within the government. We've not in any way mustered the courage, at least to deal with them. And then we go how to polish our image. You know, America, they are not mumu. Because every day they gather their intelligence. Yes. Every day they know what they want. And then our lapses, we only continue to, to establish, to entrench their interest everywhere. If our country is stable and we have good government, we have good system running, American interests may not have any impact upon our situation here. But immediately we started open up to them by not doing what we're supposed to do. Then, if America pounds on our oil, now our problem. If America now begin to use every other means in order to in order to gather all our resources to himself, solid minerals, because we have already initiated it, we call for it. They cannot come and assist us fight our war without getting anything in exchange. And mind you, America will have a lot of interest here because, in fact, in our oil industry, their companies are they have major player in oil sector, and they will want to protect that. And there is no way they will be seeing a lot of issues that will affect their interest, and then they will just sit down and then look. Now, in this situation we find ourselves, this is not the kind of lobby that we want. The kind of lobby this time around could have been that not to punish our image, but even to lobby them to come and so that their presence will be felt in those volatile areas, in those hot spots. To give us intelligence if we are so low that we can't gather intelligence on our own. Because I remember during the Buhari, America flew from America to come and rescue their own citizens without any issues. They didn't even inform our government until when the operation is done and dusted, that everybody now are aware that America has come to rescue
just one citizen.
One citizen. How do we take our own citizens? There are a lot of our citizens languish in many prisons across the world. There are a lot of attacks upon our citizens across the world. There is no way. Libya is there. You know what we face in South Africa? We don't even have that courage to approach South Africa diplomatically and then to correct all those wrongs. Till today, xenophobia is still existing in South Africa every day. Maybe it is not reported again. But I know, because I heard about 2 weeks ago, that some still hell-bent, the American citizens still hell-bent that no Nigerian could not come and take all their businesses. So it's for us to lobby for all these instances and for all this situation, not to polish our image. $9 million is over, I think, around 4.something billion.
I think it should run into trillions.
You see, to corroborate what Barrister said, we don't need this lobby at all. The world is already a global village. The internet is there. And the American to us, it's not work here in Nigeria. They even know more than we know.
Yes.
They know more than we know. So
they have their satellites.
Yes, how do you want to change the narrative that is so visible? So it's just a misdirected fund. And maybe they wanted to pacify some people to give them some money to, and then some other people now from Nigeria will benefit in the way we do our jobs there. I'm not there are some percentages.
Oh, there are some percentages. Yes. Because I would not imagine when we have Ministry of International Affairs.
That's one issue. You see, the Duru Ribadu is a national security advisor. He was the one that led the delegation to America. What has become of our Ministry of External Affairs? Even the issue of lobbying, as we know it, falls within the purview of the Ministry of Information. Where is the Minister of Information in this arrangement? You see, so many things are wrong with us, for God's sake. This government is just a government of gamblers. They don't have the right approach to issues. You see, if we have ambassadors in place, there will be no need for all this lobby. There are specifics that will have been attended to.
Yeah, ambassadors will be there.
Yes. You see, and then look at what we are even talking. The recent visit of our president to Abu Dhabi. Who received him? A minister of state. What an insult. A minister of state. It reminded me of the music of Akib Karib. Can you see the president of Nigeria, the largest black concentration in the entire world, a leader in Africa, the president visiting the country, and the minister of state
coming to receive him.
To receive him. You see, so we need to put a lot of things in place. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Minister of Information, I thought I should be involved in this issue. Not the National Security Advisor. It's not the issue is security related. For God's sake, no.
So well, thank you very much, my guy here. Now, this lobbying thing, do you think it can genuinely? Okay, yes, I asked Barrister that question earlier. That can it resolve this issue?
I said no.
You said yes.
I said no. It cannot. You see, we seems to have penchant for fire brigade approach to issues. And when you do that without a very deep appreciation of your strategy to attack what it intends to do, whatever is a crash program, what happens to it? It will crash. Because we are not anticipating the Trump, sting. And so we are thrown into confusion. And like a drowning man, you want to hold on to the last straw. So the lobbyist engagement with the stupendous amount of $9 million. $9 million could be directed to some other ends that would be beneficial to Nigerians in a better manner.
Yes.
You see?
Talking about education.
Health. We talk of those people now, even the IDPs who are victims of all these terrorists, kidnapping, banditry, and whatever. And even we are just playing the ostrich. Look at the rescue of the children, the students, or the people who were kidnapped in the Niger State.
Yes.
Did the government not go? No. What was the modality of getting these children back?
They negotiated with the terrorists.
Who did?
Well,
the government.
It is the government.
Since this issue has started, how many people have been arrested and convicted for banditry? Rather, we are just talking about the development in Katsina, and they are justifying it, rehabilitating, rebranding the head of. So, for God's sake, we are not applying the right antidote to the problem we have.
Yes, what are the right strategies? The right strategies.
I'm coming. I think
Alternative, rather.
I think what has affected this administration most is obsession for power in 2027, because that will lead to this approach of lobbying or what have you, because they just want to have this image so that the international community will accept them, and that will score a kind of political point for them to, favorably contested that 2027. They've already neglected the right things to do. They've neglected sense of building right structure, right system. Now, if we must suggest what should be the alternative? Alternative has been mentioned here, but I've mentioned some of those things. Why do we have to pay that huge sum amount of money when we can use same to reduce what has battered our image? Of course, if our security agencies have been fortified, seriously fortified, encouraged, they have good working condition, they can even behave better than what US will do in combating insecurity in Nigeria. But go on the street, you will see average policeman cannot even care for himself. What of military? It was rumored, I think yesterday, that there are going to be a mutiny.
Yes.
As a result of what?
Unpaid salaries and allowances.
And then you just took $9 million to go and polish image when you have not polished your personnel that are supposed to care for your citizens. So, what we need to do, the government needs to do, is to look inward, not outward. That cannot bring any result. Government should continue to do what can give us a better system that can arrest those situations we find ourselves. In our state, it happens at the
National Park.
National Park.
That 5 rangers were killed.
You know, that's one issue. You see, stories we've heard about that Oyo National Park is that it's a very good place for mineral resources, and that some miners are there operating, without license. You see, and comes down to the issue of governance. If states are being empowered to manage their own resources, the state government will pay more attention to that place to preserve these resources. So, the issue of exclusive legislative lists and foreign legislative lists, the land belongs to the state, even under the land use decree.
Of course.
The land belongs to the state, so all the contents of that land belongs to the state. Why should the federal government use the land?
Because I was always wondering that why is the federal government always laying claim that anywhere where there are mineral resources, they are the owners of that place.
Yes, why?
But that is why.
Let Oyo State control the Betty Mabu.
Yes.
Let Osun State manage its own gold.
Yes.
At Ilesha. So let the North manage. Let Katsina manage its own lithium, and let Nigeria be at peace.
Yes, I want to thank you, SARS, Mr. Ayuakemi. Yes, a media consultant.
And a veteran journalist.
Yes.
That's my first constituency.
Journalist. I want to thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you very much.
And Mr. Adebimpe Adelo Esquire, legal practitioner. Yes, I want to thank you for coming on the program. Yes, we've been talking about the federal government's $9 million lobbying contract. Yes, that is the matter that has arose and is arising now. And I'm sure this topic will still be in the news from today till about next week. Well, my guests have been talking, they have been delved really deep into this matter. And Well, I hope when we call you on you again, you will oblige us. I know you will oblige us.
Yes,
It's your
with
first time
love.
of coming on this program. Yes, sir, and I want to thank my producer, Yemi Alao, yes, and the assistant producer, Mutiu Ogunwale. He has been coming into the studio to chase me out of the studio. And supervising producer, Bunu Yedemi, and of course, my executive producer, Dotun Olaiton. My name is Bimbo Akombi. Next week, Tuesday, we'll come your way again with another edition of Matters Arising on this station, BCOS Television, Iliakede, Odita Bashon, right here in the city of Ibadan, the city of our ancient warlords. Good afternoon.